caveat this one by saying I am not a doctor or any sort of medical professional, in case that wasn't clear. But one of the things that always fascinates me from like a medical perspective or like a physiology perspective is how receptors work in the body. And again, I'm not an expert on this, so don't hold me to the technical terminology here or any of that, or the mechanics. But by receptors, I mean, like, for example, I read a book recently about dopamine. And the way dopamine works, as many chemicals and hormones do in our body, is that it's released, it's triggered and it's released from a certain gland or what have you. But for it to actually do what it does, there needs to be the other side of it. There needs to be a receptor that picks up that dopamine, and then it can do, what it does. And in that case, with dopamine, it kind of gives you that desire and that need to go get more, and makes you feel good, etc. The same thing's true, for example, like my wife has multiple sclerosis, and in her case, the type of multiple sclerosis she has, they realize that it impacts a certain part of her brain, and it's very much geared around the receptor that's not working. And if they could switch that receptor back on, it would drastically change her life. Like, the symptoms she deals with on a daily basis, many of them would instantly be fixed just because that receptor. And I guess what fascinates me about it is that everything is working. Like, everything that's needed is there. Nothing's missing. Nothing needs to be introduced. The material, the chemical, whatever it is, it's all there. The process for it to work is all there. It's just that one piece. It's that receptor that's needed to actually receive it, and allow it to do what it does. And I bring all this up because, to me, I've talked about this in other videos, but it's so prevalent and important to me. It's a nice parallel to how I think of, like, thinking better and self-improvement, because, as I've said before, the answers are out there, just like the dopamine or whatever the other chemical is in our body. It's there, right? It's being produced. There's not a shortage of it. It's not working. It's not defective in any way. It's not bad in any way, right? It's all there. The answers are there. The things that we need to do, philosophers, as well as just smart, successful people for hundreds, if not thousands of years, have identified things about how we can be better as people, think better, right? Whatever it is. And our ability to do it is there. Our ability to take that information, and if we have it, to actually act on it and do those things, assuming we are capable and mentally capable and all those things, we could do all of it. But for so many of us, we don't, myself very much included. All the books are out there, all the podcasts, all the videos, all the articles, they're all there. And we see proof points, and we know we're capable and we can do that. So what's missing? To me, it's that receptor piece. It's as if our receptors are off. We just can't receive that chemical and actually let it do what it's supposed to do. The figurative chemical. And that just, I don't know, for some reason that fascinates me so much, that concept, because again, nothing's really missing. Everything that's needed is there. It's all right in front of us. It's all there for us to take. We just need to be able to receive it in the way that we can actually act on it. And it's probably the thing that I've found most beneficial of making these videos, and just the last year that I've spent. In many ways, I think all I've been doing is trying to improve my receptor, to allow it to fully take in all of this content, material, insights, learnings, etc., and then allow myself to go act on it. Because it happens all the time where I'll listen to a podcast, or I'll read a book, or I'll have a conversation with somebody, and I'll hear things that I've heard before, often cliches. And all of a sudden it's like, nothing they're saying to me is different than what I've heard before. There's no real deeper insight to it. There's no magic behind it. I understood what they were saying before, but for some reason now I just can receive it in such a way where I know how to go act on it. And again, it just brings me back to that receptor concept. It's as if all this work I've been doing has been to enable and empower my receptors to take in that information in the way in which it can then go do what it's supposed to do. And that's really what it's all about.